Shabbat Shalom. Our scripture reading for today is Psalms chapter 137, verses 1 through 3. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yea, we wept when we remember Zion. We hang our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof. For there they that carried us away captive required of us a song, and they that wasted us required of us a mirth, saying, Sing us one of the songs of Zion.
Shabbat Shalom, family. Our selection today, By the River of Babylon.
By the river of Babylon, The oracles of the UCI. 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 7 through 11. But the end of all things is at hand. Be you therefore sober and watch unto prayer. And above all things have fervent love among yourselves, for love shall cover the multitude of sins. Use hospitality one to another without grudging. As every man has received the gift, even so minister the same one to another as good stewards of the manifold grace of Elohim. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Elohim. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which Elohim gives, that Elohim in all things may be glorified through Yahshua the Mashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Ephesians chapter 4, verses 29 through chapter 5 and verse 4. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of Elohim, whereby you are sealed until the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be you kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as Elohim for Yahshua's sake has forgiven you. Be you therefore followers of Elohim, as their children, and walk in love, as the Mashiach also loved us, and has given himself for us an offering and sacrifice to Elohim for a sweet-smelling savor. But fornication, and all uncleanness, or covetousness, let it not be once named among you as becomes saints. Neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather given of thanks. Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verses 1 and 2. Keep your foot when you go to the house of Elohim, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. Be not rash with your mouth, and let not your heart be hasty to utter anything before Elohim. For Elohim is in heaven, and you upon earth, therefore let your words be few. Exodus chapter 23, verses 20 and 21. Behold, I send an angel before you to keep you in the way, and to bring you into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. Revelations chapter 3, verses 20 through 22. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come in to him and will sup with him, and he with me. To him that overcomes will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I have also overcame and am sat down with my Father in his throne. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches.
All right, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Which is peace on Yahweh's holy Sabbath day. Welcome to another holy convocation that Yahweh has enjoined unto us here in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Praise Yahweh for all of the family who were able to go on our camping trip. It was man, we had a beautiful, beautiful time, even with rain. I think, there's sometimes, it's real easy to have fun in the sun. Yahweh want to make sure that we understand that we can do things even when when the forecast doesn't look like it's going to be good. And at the end of the day, it really wasn't as bad as we thought, it forecasted to be. Because if you look at the forecast, it tell you 90% chance of rain. It's 90% for 5 minutes, and you look at that, you don't ever go out, you don't ever do nothing. As the word says, the slothful man say it's a lion in the street. So he don't do nothing. So, because he look at the forecast. So it doesn't look good, so he never begins anything, which means he never finishes anything. So we have to be careful about those things. And as it is also written, we don't have any choice but to be in the world. But we do have a choice whether or not we're going to be of the world. Be in the world, but not of the world. So then, with that being said, there's a way in which we deal with things that cannot be directed by how the world deals with everything. When I was, trying to follow my music career, I ran into, a lot of it. It's so much foulness, and it's interesting how even people in the word would describe it. That's just, how the business is. because the people who first get into business get a really bad contract and they got ripped off. As they stay in the music industry and they get an opportunity to set up their own thing, they then believe that they are okay ripping off the new people who are starting, that is the whole statement of being in the world, but not of the world. Now you have an opportunity. Why do you have to rip people off? Because that's how other people did you when you started. And it is really strange how we develop mindsets. So now that mindset ends up being developed, and then we think that it's okay. And I've actually had some individuals tell me, well, this is how I started out. This is just good. Well, hold on. Didn't you feel like it was wrong, what was done to you? And they'll say, yes, I know it was. So why do you think it's okay for you to do that to somebody else? Be in the world, but not of the world. The world is not supposed to direct how you deal with things. Yahweh's culture is supposed to direct how you deal with things. And that's something that we're going to have to really let sink into our hearts, into our minds, so that it encourages our thought process, that it directs our thought process. Today's sermon is entitled, My Brother's Keeper. The word encourages us to love your brother as yourself. In one of the great epistles, it is stated, as touching brotherly love, you need not that I write unto you, for you yourselves are taught of Elohim to love one another. But what level of responsibility does one have toward his brother? Where does the line begin and end for responsibility in aiding your brother or your sister? When we examine life's instruction book for believers, we find deep contrasts of instructions from one end of the sphere to the other. On one hand, the word instructs us to love even our enemies, while in other areas it is written that every man shall bear his own burden. This then leads us to the conclusion that each situation must be dealt with independently, scrutinized in the balances of law, being measured in deed and weighed by intent. We're going to begin today's sermon in Romans chapter 12. Romans chapter 12, and we're going to start that at verse 1.
Romans 12 and verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Elohim, that you present your bodies as living sacrifice.
If your body is a living sacrifice, then everything is not all about how you feel about something. See, when everything that you have is about you, then you are very far away from presenting yourself as a living sacrifice. Go ahead.
Holy, acceptable unto Elohim, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Elohim.
Right. See, you conform to this world when you say, this is how, the world is, so this is how I'm going to deal with such and such things. What you need to be dealing with, what thus says your Father who art in heaven. Instead of worrying about how the world is, you need to worry about how he is. We can all justify ourselves by the things that happen in the world. Go ahead.
For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as Elohim has dealt to every man the measure of faith. For as we have many members in one body, and all members have not the same office,
right,
so we, being many, are one body in the Mashiach, and every one members one of another.
Right. That means these different parts of the body have different jobs and different purposes, but those purposes must be allowed to work in unison to provide to Yahshua a complete movement. The leg can't say, you know what, I don't want to do what you're trying to get me to do. Or even if the leg say, you know what, I don't want to have no dealings with the hand. See, I'm a leg, and I realize that I got another leg over here. So me and the leg, we just gonna hang out with each other. We're not gonna pay attention to none of y'all or nothing. You realize that the two legs can't hang out because you ain't walking, then you hopping. The two legs can't hang together. So while everybody else walking, you the only fool hopping down the hall because you want to keep two legs together. Each thing has to operate in the purpose for which it was made. But it also has to allow the other things that were made to operate in its purpose. Your purpose, this is one of the things where it says, let every man not to think more highly of himself than he ought to. When you believe that your purpose is so grand that nobody else's purpose matters, you are thinking highly about yourself. That other man, that other woman, they have to have the ability to operate in their purpose just like you. And if your purpose overrides their purpose, then there's a problem with your purpose. You might be looking at your purpose wrong. Go ahead.
Having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us. Whether prophecy, let us prophesy according to the proportion of faith. Or ministry, let us wait on our ministering. Or he that teaches on teaching.
Right. Sometimes folks ready to teach, but they haven't sat in the class and learned. You only have this problem with Hebrew Israelites. You don't have this problem, and Creflo ain't never had this problem. And somebody say, I done been here 3 Sundays. You know what, Creflo, I'm ready to teach. Creflo, give me a class. Not nan time. Not a nary time have you had that problem. Coming to the Hebrew Israelite faith, let us learn about Messianic Judaism, and now we done learned in one class more than we done learned in the last 10 years. Then we go to 2 more classes. You know what? Yeah, I'm ready. You done went to 3 classes. But in them 3 classes, what they're doing is basing all the years that it took them in one class, they got more than they ever had in 10 years. So now in 3 classes, their mind says, I'm 30 years in the game. 30 years in the game. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Go ahead, bro. You having a wardrobe malfunction over there? What's happening, Buju?
It's a mic.
What's going on with Buju over here? Alright. Yeah, Buju don't need no mic. What's wrong with you, man? See, you denying your purpose.
Verse 7. Or ministry, let us wait on our ministering. Or he that teaches on teaching. Or he that exhorteth on exhortation. He that gives, let him do it with simplicity. He that rules with diligence. He that shows mercy with cheerfulness.
It says he that gives with simplicity. See, some folks will give and then try to direct how the funds that they give are used. He said, if you ain't gonna give with simplicity, keep it in your pocket. Go ahead, bro.
Let love be without dissimulation. Abhor that which is evil. Cleave to that which is good.
See, these are things that we learn from the world. This is why it says be in the world, but not of the world. See, we learn to love in a strange way because of the things in the world. When we watch how they operate in the world, then we bring that and we say, well, it's okay to do this. See, you have confused being in the world with being of the world. Go ahead.
Be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love.
Do we know what that is? There's a certain care that we're supposed to have for one another. I mean, even a brother whom you know not. There is a covenant of peace between two individuals who have never met. Until that peace is broken, there's a covenant of peace already between you. You don't know that man don't know you. But that's not how some of us act. Why? Because the ways of the world have taught us differently. So we'll walk around with a scowl on our face, because you know that's you know what they tell you have to do in the city. You know what I'm saying? You got to look like this, so won't nobody walk up to you. You know what I'm saying? Get your lips real tight. You know what I'm saying? When you look at what's up, bro, what's up? Where's the brotherly love in that? This brother don't even want to even say, hey, brother. Because your defense is up. Go ahead.
In honor, preferring one another. Not slothful in business, favoring in spirit, serving the Adonai. Rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation.
Patient in tribulation. How fast are you ready to fight? Patient in tribulation. You realize that Yahshua wasn't just killed, he was tortured. It was a slow process. How patient are you in tribulation? Does somebody just look at you wrong and you ready to swing? See, that's that same of the world mentality, because that's all it took back in the days. We used to go down to the mall and we was already geared up before we even got there. So all it took was a brother to look and his head go too high. What? Did you do that to me? Next thing you know, we're scrapping in the food court. But we went there with that mentality. We were talking about we was having pre-fight conversations on our way there. I wish a knuckle would. Oh, we knew we were gonna fight. How fast are you ready to enter into altercation? Go ahead.
Continuing instant in prayer, distributing to the necessity of saints, given to hospitality. Bless them which persecute you. Bless and curse not. Rejoice with them that do rejoice, and weep with them that weep. Be of the same mind one toward another. Mind not high things, but condescend to men of low estate. Be not wise in your own conceits. Recompense to no man evil for evil. Provide things honest in the sight of all men. If it be possible, as much as lies in you, live peaceably with all men.
Now, you have to know what this means. If it be possible. Now, this can cause you to deal with something in your own heart. If it be possible, live peaceably with all men. You got to first of all understand there's certain people that you're not going to have peace with. All right? Now, and if you can't have any peace with that individual, then you're going to have to separate yourself. But then you're going to have to also deal with something. Why is it not possible for you to have peace with some individuals? And have you dealt with the portion in your heart that causes peace not to be possible? See, it's real easy to say, okay, you run up to a white supremacist. It's real easy to figure out why y'all can't have peace with each other. You black and they think you should die. It's real easy. It don't take a mental genius to figure that one out. But what happened when the brother looked just like you? He got the same thoughts as you. What makes it a situation where y'all cannot live peaceably with one another? Have you examined in your heart why? Well, Yahweh's going to hold you accountable for it, so you need to look. Go ahead.
Dearly beloved, Avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine. I will repay, says the Adonai.
Right. I'm going to take care of the situation, says Yahweh. You wouldn't even know how to take care of the situation if you tried. You don't know the individual like I know the individual. You know what the individual shows you. I know the individual. That's why vengeance can't be ours, because you don't even know where to even swing at. So you learn by watching them fights, you know, that there's some people that only place they want to hit is the face. Right. Because they thought process is, if I make them ugly, I won. Then you find them people who hit and they give a nice one to the kidney. Mike Tyson would make somebody fold like a pretzel. The dude would be this tall. When he hit him on the side, his whole body turns. That might not have looked pretty to you, but that dude in pain. But everybody else looking for the face hit. He hit you on that side and that whole side buckle, and some people just didn't get back up. And you like, but I was waiting for a knockout. I was waiting for a head shot. And it was a gut shot that sent him night-night. And he didn't go to sleep. He just hit the canvas and said, I can't take another one of those. Whatever that was. Did y'all get the license plate on that truck that just came in here? I thought vehicles was not allowed in the ring. Somebody put a truck in here and they hit me right in the side. And he went so fast I heard it go by. Oh. Go ahead, brother.
Therefore, if your enemy hunger, feed him. If he thirsts, give him drink. For in so doing, you shall heap coals of fire on his head.
Right, in Yahweh's time, not your time. That's in Yahweh's time. See, we do something and we want Yahweh to deal with it later on today. You know what I'm saying? I fed that brother. It was about 2:30. It's 4:14. I'm waiting for them hot coals of fire. We done put a alarm on our phone. You know what I'm saying? Just, the alarm go out. What's that? Hot coals of fire, bro. Hot coals of fire. I'm waiting for them. Right? They're going to drop right down out the sky on that brother. Right. Go ahead.
Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good.
All right. Now, the writings of the New Testament gives us, in general, type instructions through the epistles, but when we examine the foundation of the Old Testament, we get specific situations and specific actions that were taken during these incidents. Whether we believe those actions were right or wrong, we can get a real-life application by examining some of those issues. So let's go to Genesis chapter 21. So we have to wonder, like, what is Yahweh going to hold us accountable for? These people went through situations and there was nothing written for them to refer back to. We have situations that happen to us, and then we can refer back to other situations that other people encountered. They didn't have a book to go back to. They were the issues of the book that the book will be made about. So consider how much stronger our judgment is going to be. You had situations to refer back to. Why didn't you go back and examine these situations? Genesis chapter 21, and let's start that at verse 1.
And Yahweh visited Sarah as he had said. And Yahweh said unto Sarah as he had spoken. And Yahweh did unto Sarah, as he had spoken. For Sarah conceived and bare Abraham a son in his old age, and at the set time of which Elohim had spoken to him. And Abraham called the name of his son that was born unto him, whom Sarah bare to him, Esau. And Abraham circumcised his son Esau, being 8 days old, as Elohim had commanded him. And Abraham was 100 years old when his son Esau was born unto him. And Sarah said, Elohim hath made me to laugh so that all that hear will laugh with me.
Which is what Esau means, laughter. Go ahead.
And she said, who would have said unto Abraham that Sarah should have given children suck? For I have borne him a son in his old age. And the child grew and was weaned, and Abraham made a great feast the same day that Esau was weaned. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar the Egyptian, which she had borne unto Abraham, mocking. Wherefore she said unto Abraham, cast out this bondwoman and her son.
All right, now be careful how you see these events, because this is where it's about to get interesting. All right, because at this point on the surface, this looks like it's the woman's problem with the other woman's child. Look a little deeper. Cast out this bondwoman and her son. Understand, this is because he was mocking that this jumps off. All right, so remember the beginning. And a lot of times that's what we focus on, the event that we see. There's some other events that we don't see. Go ahead.
For the son of this bondwoman shall not be heir with my son, even with Esau. And the thing was very grievous in Abraham's sight because of his son.
All right, so this is grieving him. Okay, go ahead.
And Elohim said unto Abraham, let it not be grievous in your sight because of the lad and because of your bondwoman. And in all that Sarah has said unto you, hearken unto her voice. For in Esau shall your seed be called.
Stop. So Yahweh saw it the same way that she saw it. It was just the situation that brought out, this boy ain't the same as Esau. This boy's life ain't gonna be the same as this other boy's life. They need to separate. But for her to say it, something had to happen. But the spirit of those individuals was already there. But if all you see are the things on the surface, you see Sarah getting upset and Sarah saying, get rid of this woman and her child. What you don't see is Yahweh coming in and saying, oh no, she right. So how long was Yahweh sitting back saying, I see a problem. How long was Yahweh saying that before Sarah got upset? Now then all of this is blamed on the woman. So imagine how Ishmael is going to grow up, because he might have all of the blame placed on the woman who's married to his daddy. All this goes to her. But Yahweh just let the situation happen. Yahweh agrees with the situation. Go ahead.
And also of the son of the bondwoman will I make a nation, because he is your seed.
Now check this out. She is right. But I am going to help take care of the child without any of your involvement. I'm going to take care of your kid without you being there. Now see, that's deep there. Because see, now you got to then think about something. So then this child is about to be separated from his father, but then he's going to be able to achieve things that he will believe in his own mind that he achieved by himself. Go read that, bro.
And Abraham rose up early in the morning and took bread and a bottle of water and gave it unto Hagar, putting it on her shoulder, and the child, and sent her away.
Man, can you visualize this? This is what they do in the cartoon. They give you the stick and put the napkin on it. Oh boy, this gets cold dealing. Now, so understand what's happening in the mindset, or what could be happening in the mindset of, because a child is going to perceive this like a child. So what happened? My daddy gave my mama a stick with a napkin and said, kick rocks. Go ahead.
And she departed and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba.
Uh-huh.
And the water was spent in a bottle, and she cast the child under one of the shrubs. And she went and sat her down over against him a good way off, as it were a bow shot. For she said, let me not see the death of the child. And she sat over against him and lift up her voice and wept.
Mm-hmm.
And Elohim heard the voice of the lad, and the angel of Elohim called to Hagar out of heaven, and said unto her, what aileth you, Hagar? Fear not, for Elohim has heard the voice of the lad where he is.
Uh-huh.
Arise, lift up the lad, and hold him in your hand, for I'll make him a great nation.
Right. I'm going to make of him a great nation, just not next to the nation that I'm going to build with Esau. These two nations cannot intertwine. Okay? I'm going to make a great nation of him because he is Abraham's seed. But these two nations have to be separate. Understand that. And for that cause, you got to go. Go ahead.
You know, you even look at Hagar at some point, she even gave up on the child too.
Yeah. But you know, that's when Yahweh come to you, when the things look at its bleakest, when you down to your last, your last. See, sometimes we got last and then we got the last. When you down to your last, now here come Yahweh. And then he asked them strange questions. What's wrong? Jimmy, what's wrong? I'm broken on a joke. I'm hungry. It's raining. I ain't got no coat. I said, when? But he don't come until you down to your last. See, that's why some people ain't never met Yahweh. See, because we gonna orchestrate things so we don't never get down to our last. He said, okay, so you don't need me yet. You don't need me yet. No, I'm gonna be over here. Holler at me when you need me. Go ahead.
And Elohim opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. And she went and filled the bottle with water and gave the lad drink. And Elohim was with the lad, and he grew and dwelt in the wilderness and became an archer. And he dwelt in the wilderness of Paran. And his mother took him a wife out of the land of Egypt.
All right, so we got a whole different thing that's happening here. So we have a separation between the sons that was authorized by Yahweh. But if you were one of the individuals, understand something. There could have been individuals who were standing there and saw the altercation of the mocking and the statement, cast out this bondwoman and her son, for that child shall not be heir with my child. Think about it. There's other people in the midst who might have witnessed this. But there were no people when Yahweh spoke to Abraham. So there's one perception of the event, and all of these individuals may have that perception because they didn't have the information that he was given privately. Go ahead, bro.
No, it's interesting that you bring that up because when we're looking at it, you just see Abraham, Sarah, Hagar, and the child.
You think ain't nobody else there?
We forget that Abraham had servants.
Man, they got servants. They got people all over the place. You think ain't nobody? You know how we do. You heard what? Shh, come here. You heard what's going on there? She said, cast the bondwoman out there. I said, oh my goodness. Y'all know how we do? It done went all around the place. Go ahead, brother. Let's go to Genesis chapter 25. People that was out in the field, the stuff done met them out in the field before they even get back in. Genesis chapter 25, and let's read start at verse 1.
Then again Abraham took a wife, and her name was Keturah. And she bare him Zimran, and Yokshan, and Medan, and Midian, and Ishbak, and Shua. And Yokshan begot Sheba.
Now you got to listen to all these names. So then later on, as life starts happening with Israelites later on, these are descendants of Abraham that they're even having issue with. Remember the Midianite woman that a brother ended up marrying? Guess what? See, Yahweh is connecting some dots here, even that when they deal outside of Israel, they're still dealing from within Abraham. See, that's why some of those things where Yahweh is like, no. They're going to be a nation, but they can't be close to this nation. They will somehow meet up later. Go ahead.
And Yokshan begat Sheba and Dedan. And the sons of Dedan were Asherim and Letushim and Lumamim. And the sons of Midian, Ephah and Epher and Hanok and Ebedah and Elidah. All these were the children of Keturah.
Mm-hmm.
And Abraham gave all that he had unto Esau.
All right, so now we're starting to deal with some inheritance, and we have this thing where we, things, you got to keep it real. I got to keep, things a certain way. Watch this. Abraham gave all that he had unto Esau. Go ahead.
But unto the sons of the concubines which Abraham had, Abraham gave gifts and sent them away from Esau his son.
That's the second time that he has done that. Okay? He has first separated Ishmael and Esau. Now the sons of the other woman get separated from Esau as well. Go ahead.
While he yet lived, eastward unto the east country. And these are the days of the years of Abraham's life which he lived, 160 years. Then Abraham gave up the ghost and died in a good old age, an old man and full of years, and was gathered to his people. And his sons Esau and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah, in the field of Ephron, the son of Zohar the Hittite, which is before Mamre.
So then you got to look now. Now it's time for Abraham to be buried. Ishmael show back up. Go ahead.
Where the rest of the kids?
I don't know where the rest of the kids at. I don't know where they at.
Holding feelings? Let me see.
Hey, never can tell. It is easy for us to see the difference in spirit when there are differences in the parents, meaning same father but different mother. So let us examine similar issues when the offspring have the same mother and the same father. Let's jump down to verse 19. See, I remember that when we were growing up, but they used to say, "Oh, that's your half brother. So y'all got the same mama, but y'all ain't got the same daddy. So y'all half brothers." So let's take care of that. Genesis 25, start at verse 19.
These are the generations of Esau, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Esau, and Esau was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel the Syrian of Paddan Aram, the sister of Laban the Syrian. And Esau entreated Yahweh for his wife, because she was barren. And Yahweh was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived.
You see how Yahweh wait on you like he didn't know she was barren? See, some of the stuff depends on your action. Well, we think, I'm waiting on y'all. Now, you ain't waiting on me. I'm waiting on you. What do you think? Yahweh know all these things, but he didn't know she ain't have no kid? You think he didn't know that? Like, he was so busy out, forming galaxies. I was putting together a new Milky Way out there. I had forgot. You know what? Your wife ain't got no kids. I ain't even noticed that. You think he know that? No. He waiting on you. How are you going to approach unto him? And are you going to approach unto him with a clean heart when you approach? Go ahead.
And the children struggled together within her. And she said, "If it be so, why am I thus?" And she went to inquire of Yahweh.
Understand something. She's barren. He prays. She has 2 children. Understand now, but she went from no kids to now 2 of them fighting in her stomach. Go ahead.
And Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in your womb.
Wait a minute. 2 nations? How's it going to be 2 nations? They got same mom and same daddy. But it's a different spirit in those 2 different children. See, we got something to blame it on when there's a different father or a different mother. Hold on. This is 2 different spirits, and they had the same mama and the same daddy. Read, brother.
And 2 manner of people shall be separated from your bowels.
2 manner of people. You got 2 different nations inside your stomach. But they both got the same daddy. But they're going to be as different as night and day. And these is twins. Go ahead.
And when you look at the word two manner of people, we forget that word manner is mannerisms. They're going to deal with things differently.
Totally different. Go ahead.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger.
So Yahweh done gave her a schism. Because that's not how things are supposed to go in the world. See, when the world tells you how it's supposed to go, you know, the elders, I make all the decisions, I'm the old, everybody shut up. Because I'm the oldest, and this is where it's supposed to be. He done gave her a problem. The older one gonna serve the younger one. Oh, now see, that's some weight to drop on somebody, because the daddy is still gonna be dealing with this whole thing that he's gotten accustomed to, which is the oldest one gets this. The oldest one directs the other one. Yahweh said that's not going to work here, because there's a different spirit in the older one that than what from the younger one, and the younger one is going to have the spirit that it's going to be the one that will be in control, not the older one. And he drops that on her. Now she got to sit there and figure out what she gonna do with this. And obviously she didn't share that with her husband. Because some very foul things got to happen. And why didn't she share this with her husband? Everything about her husband is flowing the other way, that he wants to deal with the oldest. But Yahweh already said that the spirit in the oldest is different from the spirit in the younger one. Go ahead, brother.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came out his brother, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Esau was 80 years old when she bare them.
Now, if you really think about it, okay, they're twins, but they're not only different in spirit, they're different in look. You notice that it didn't tell you any thing about how Jacob looked, but it pointed out. Yeah, the first one was red and hairy like a garment. He just like a hairy little booger. I don't know what. It just hair everywhere. It's just red. It's just fire red. I don't know what's wrong with it. Didn't say nothing about the other one. That lets you know. I don't know what he looked like. I know what he didn't look like. I know he didn't look like the other one. I can tell you that. So they wasn't just different in spirit. They was different looking. One of them did not look like the other one. But they twins. Imagine the confusion when people walk up. Yo, what? Twins? Y'all got the same mama and daddy? Wow. Interesting. Go ahead.
And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field.
See, this is something that the daddy could brag about. You see this? My boy, manly. I'm talking about, he's a man child. Went out there, you know, he doesn't kill so many animals. They see him when he coming, they just lay down and die. They be like, oh my God, here comes Esau. Who did that? My boy did that. The manly one. Go ahead, keep reading, bro.
And Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents.
Oh man, this dude in the inside with his mama. He probably sewing. He probably sewing. He done made, look, Esau go out there, hunt, get the animals, and then the other little boy get in there and sew it together and make a coat. Get out of here, man. Nobody trying to hear you. You soft. Soft, Holmes. I just came back and brought back some leather and you made me a coat. You soft, Holmes. But is that what Yahweh saw? Okay, keep reading.
And Esau loved Esau because he did eat of his venison.
See, people have reasons why they like certain children. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because have you tasted venison? My God, my boy go out there. You know my boy, the manly one. He goes out there, right? He go out there and he get those animals. Oh my goodness, and boy, I tell you, it's delicious. Yes, it is. You know, but I'm waiting for my boy to bring me some back. You know, the venison. You know my boy, the manly one. Go ahead, bro.
But Rebecca loved Yaakov.
Oh no, he in there sewing with his mama. Look at this. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is horrible. You got a manly man out here hunting, and you got a little dude in the tent with his mama. He probably know how to crochet and knit. He in there making sweaters, man. Read, brother.
That was it.
That was it right there?
Verse 28.
Verse 28. All right, now let's go to Genesis chapter 4. This is, but you see the separation that is being caused here. I like, he like, we like. So let's get back into some other examples here, because it is important that we deal with some of these issues, because a lot of times people like to blame things on the family makeup. Now let's deal with these situations where the mother and the father are exactly the same, but you have two different spirits. Genesis chapter 4, and let's start that at verse 1.
And Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I've gotten a man from Yahweh.
All right.
And she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto Yahweh. And Abel he also brought of the firstlings of his flock, and of the fat thereof.
So we automatically see the difference in the offering. What Cain brought was of the fruit of his ground. What Abel brought was the firstlings, which is the first of his increase. Cain did not bring the first of his increase. He brought some stuff. Now the altercation begins. Go ahead.
And Yahweh had respect unto Abel and his offering. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very angry, and his countenance fell.
Now, we're going to have to deal with something. So this is where the anger comes in. Because one looks like he's accepted, the other one looks like his situation was not accepted. And we're talking about the offering, not the individual. But you know, sometimes when the man feelings go, the man feelings, they people like to say, you know what I'm saying, I don't like to be emotional, you know what I'm saying, that's like women, man, women are emotional, man, I don't have that. Yeah. Let me tell you something about the man feelings. They are 10 times the woman feelings, because the man want to hide his so long. So you get the man feeling, we get the mealings. The mealings, when they kick in, this is why when you drive down the street and there's two brothers dead on the corner, you say, what happened? Mealings. Them was man feelings. See, when men have feelings, people just die. See, we want to talk about the women feelings. When women have feelings, they just want to talk to you all damn night. But ain't nobody dead, though. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody dead. Everybody get up in the morning. Everybody get up in the morning. Everybody up in the morning. In the morning you can count 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody there. When mealings jump in the picture, 1, 2. Wait a minute, there's 2 people missing. 2 people missing. See, the mealings, they cause issues. See? Go ahead, brother.
And Yahweh said unto Cain, why are you angry?
Why are you angry? What is the purpose of your anger? Go ahead.
And why is your countenance fallen?
I can see it on you. You wearing your anger all over your body. Your body is showing your anger. I can see it. You ain't got to tell me you're angry. I see your anger by the way you walk. I can see your anger in the way you talk. That's your countenance. That's how you carry yourself. Go ahead.
If you does well, shall you not be accepted?
Should I not have accepted your brother when he did well? Or do you have a problem? Wait a minute. Who the oldest? Which one of them the oldest?
Cain.
You mean tell me you gonna accept my little brother? So you ain't gonna what? Do you not know who I am? I'm older than him. Go ahead.
And if you does not well, sin lies at the door. And unto you shall be his desire. And you shall rule over him.
Now, the warning has now been given. Go ahead.
And Cain talked with Abel his brother. And it came to pass when they were in the field.
So this takes a minute. See, we don't know how long of a process this is, but the anger is brewing. Go ahead.
That Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. And Yahweh said unto Cain, Where is Abel your brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper?
I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? So not only is he a murderer, he's a liar too. I don't know. Then says, am I my brother's keeper? We're going to come back to that. Go ahead.
And he said, What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood cries unto me from the ground. And now are you cursed from the earth, which has opened her mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand.
Right. So what got him to curse is what he did while angry. Yahweh already saw that he had an anger issue. Why are you angry? He didn't listen. His anger then drove him to do something. Now he's being cast out. But he got a warning before his anger kicked in. Keep reading.
When you tilleth the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto you her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall you be in the earth.
Right. He had a vagabond spirit, just moved from place to place to place. Why was that there? Because of the curse that he got himself. Go ahead.
And Cain said unto Yahweh, My punishment is greater than I can bear.
Look at this. The ones who don't have any mercy are the first ones to ask for mercy. He had zero mercy for his brother. Zero. But then still had the nerve to ask the Father for mercy. Go ahead.
Behold, you have driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from your face shall I be hid.
From your face shall I be hid. Check that out. Well, who your brother seeing? Because my face hid from his. Because you put him in the dirt. How is he seeing me? Go ahead.
And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that finds me shall slay me. And Yahweh said unto him.
Now check this out. Now here come Yahweh still with mercy. After you done killed one of his sons. Go ahead.
Therefore whosoever slays Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And Yahweh set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him shall kill him. And Cain went out from the presence of Yahweh and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden.
Mm-hmm.
And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bare Enoch.
And look, and then check this out now. So the murderer is allowed to move and start a family. Go ahead.
And he built a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch.
Oh, so he loved his son. But he killed somebody else's. See, so then you got to ask yourself, who was Cain really upset with? This is where things get interesting. Was he really angry at the brother? Or was he angry at his father? Did he use the murder of his brother to get at the father? Who was he really angry with? His statement to his father showed that there was indignation. I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? That's not indignation against Abel. That's indignation against his daddy. I got a problem with you. just took it out on his poor innocent brother who trusted him, because if he didn't trust him, he would have never turned his back to him in the field to start with. He would have been on guard, but he wasn't on guard because he trusted his brother. And you have to consider when you deal with this thing of this misplaced anger, consider the statement that Adam made, that man made when his situation went sour. When he says, did you eat from this tree that I commanded you not to eat? Look at how he throws the blame back at his father. It was this woman that you gave to be with me. She gave me of the tree and I did eat. It was her, Daddy. I ain't been doing nothing. Right. You have to learn how to listen. Let's go to Matthew chapter 5. Matthew chapter 5, and we're going to read verses 21 through 26.
Verse 21. You have heard that it was said by them of old time, you shall not kill, and whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment. But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment.
Right. What did the brother do to Cain? The brother didn't do anything to Cain. What was Cain's real argument? Was that his brother's offering was accepted and his offering was not. So his anger was at who? His anger was not at his brother. He just took it out on his brother. He's angry with his brother without a cause. His brother did no harm to him. Let me tell you how differently this would have gone. What if he had also accepted Cain's offering? There would be no problem. So his problem wasn't that his brother's offering was accepted. His problem was that his was not. And who didn't accept it? His father. So I'm going to get back at my father by killing this boy he liked. Go ahead, brother. You got something on your mind now?
He wasn't jealous, though?
He wasn't what?
Jealous.
Brother, jealousy is one thing. When you talk about getting to the point of murder, brother, jealousy is real easy. You can see a brother with a nice outfit and say, damn, I'm jealous of that outfit. That looks nice. You see a brother with a Mercedes and say, I'm jealous of that Mercedes. That don't mean you're going to go steal it. That don't mean you're going to knock that brother over the head, wait till he getting gas and hit him, you know what I'm saying, to jump in his car. That ain't what that means. Don't mix apples and oranges and put them in the same damn thing and talking about you got an orange. Read, bro.
You know, I've heard that same statement said where, you know, somebody say, hey, I'm jealous of you, but then the other person takes that to think that they hate them or wish harm upon them,
right,
just because they're jealous of a gift that they might have.
Right. And you know, in a situation like that, this is, certain things are motivational type things. So when people see something, they say, you know what, man, you know, I'm jealous, brother, that, you know, you got, you know, your family coming in and keep the word with you. But they wasn't there the 3 years I had to trot along by myself. They wasn't there, you know. So that then becomes for that brother an inspiration. So man, it took you 3 years before your family would even step foot in here? Yep. So now that becomes, that jealousy for that brother becomes a stepping stone for that brother to say, all right, if I keep going, then maybe I will have the opportunity to have my whole family walking in this word together. You see what I'm saying? So, and that's how we have to deal with things. But then there's that other level where things go in a whole nother, you know, arena. That's something altogether different. You know, like we were talking about one night at the campsite. Yahweh says, I'm going to make you jealous with another people. Mm-hmm. And you look at all the things that he's given the Gentiles. We ain't going out there killing them, but we sure trying to join everything they in. Why you think we join these old whack groups? Why we want to be in a fraternity? Why we want to be Masons? Oh, man. Come on. Why we want to be that? Because it was some white folk who came and brought it to your neighborhood. Believe you me, if you in one of them groups, you in the B team. You ain't on the real team. They made another little group for you Negroes. See, you got to look at the fine people like, I'm a Kappa, I'm an Alpha. You're an Alpha Negro. You know what I'm saying? You didn't look at the bottom print. Keep reading down. There's a little bit of fine writing on the back that tells you B team. You don't have the same rights as the A team. Understand that? All right? Don't get it twisted. Go ahead, bro.
And whosoever shall say to his brother, Rekah, shall be in danger of the council. Whosoever shall say, you fool, shall be in danger of hellfire.
And which one of us ain't said that? Go ahead.
Therefore, if you bring your gift to the altar and there remembers that your brother has aught against you.
Now, see, now we're getting down to something. See? So you angry with your brother without a cause, but you believe that your cause is just. Now, what happens as you do your works? As you bring your gift to the altar, what's happening to those gifts? Now, ain't nothing happening to his because he ain't got a problem against you. You got a problem against him. So Yahweh's still accepting his offering. He's just not accepting yours. Read.
You know, even verse 23, where you could see that coming straight out of the situation with Cain and Abel.
Uh-huh.
It was a gift being brought to the altar.
Yep. And it was not accepted. There's something wrong here. Go ahead.
Leave there your gift before the altar and go your way. First be reconciled to your brother and then come and offer your gift.
Go fix that situation that you got with your brother. Because we at that part and that monopoly with do not pass go. We at that part right now. You can roll all you want. Ain't nothing gonna happen. You gotta go fix this. And until you fix this, we at a standstill. You at a standstill. Now everybody else gonna keep moving. Understand? We're gonna keep going with the purpose that we're supposed to be. You just at a standstill. So when you look up and we're going across a hill and you like, well, I keep walking, but I'm not moving. Yeah, Yahweh didn't put you on a spiritual treadmill. But you don't realize, you know, my head moving right with kids, but he keep going farther. Hey, Ken! But you still can't catch up. Right. You did that to you. Yahweh didn't do that to you. You did that to you. Go ahead, bro.
Agree with thine adversary quickly.
See, that's what we don't want to do. Oh, no, I can say I got to win. See, I got to win at all costs. Even if I just win prison sentence, I got to win. Go ahead, bro.
Whilst you're in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver you to the judge, and the judge deliver you to the officer, and you be cast into prison. Verily I say unto you, you shall by no means come out thence till you have paid the uttermost farthing.
You gonna take care of that right there, okay? But we have the opportunity to clear those things up before it gets to be a problem. But pride won't let us do it. Mealings, see, they won't let us just, you know what, man, I just take wrong. Let's go to Galatians chapter 4. Galatians chapter 4, and we're going to read verses 21 through 31.
Verse 21. Tell me, you that desire to be under the law, do you not hear the law? For it is written that Abraham had two sons, the one by a bondmaid the other by a free woman.
Okay, all right. So here we go. 2 sons. Go ahead.
But he who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh.
He who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh. When you look at the situation of how Cain was born, what fleshly thing had they done before he was born? They had just walked against Yahweh in their own selfish will, and Cain was the child that was born after that dealing. Born under the flesh. Go ahead.
Ishmael was born under Sarah's flesh of wanting a child.
Exactly. See, you got the flesh and you got the spirit. Keep going.
But he of the free woman was by promise.
He of the free woman was by promise. Go ahead.
Which things are an allegory? For these are the 2 covenants, the one from the Mount Sinai, which gendered to bondage, which is Hagar.
So the 2 sons are 2 covenants. Go ahead.
For this Hagar is Mount Sinai in Arabia, and answers to Jerusalem, which now is and is in bondage with her children. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. For it is written, Rejoice, you barren that beareth not. Break forth and cry, you that travaileth not. For the desolate has many more children than she which has an husband. Now we, brethren, as Esau was, are the children of promise. But as then he that was born after the flesh persecuted him that was born after the spirit, even so it is now.
But as then he that was born after the flesh persecutes him that was born after the spirit, even so it is now. Those that are born under the flesh persecute those that are born after the spirit. Read, priest.
Nevertheless, what saith the scripture? Cast out the bondwoman and her son. For the son of the bondwoman shall not be heir with the son of the free woman. So then, brethren, we are not children of the bondwoman, but of the free.
Depending on how you operate. Are you indeed children of the free? So we see that it matters the mindset of the parents when the children are conceived. If the parents are off into mischief, the seed is born into mischief, whether it desires to or not. It finds itself in the mischievous spirit of its conception. Let's go to Romans chapter 9. And we're going to start that at verse 1.
I say the truth in the Mashiach, I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Spirit, that I have a great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from the Mashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh.
My kinsmen according to the flesh. Now, read verse 4.
Who are Israelites.
Who are Israelites. So according to the flesh, my kinsmen are Israelites. Go ahead.
To whom pertains the adoption.
Now, this is the authority given to the Israelites. And I don't see why anybody who so-called reads the New Testament would want to be anything other than an Israelite. Because all the authority is given to Israel. Go ahead, brother.
And the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of Elohim, and the promises.
That's everything. Then he's going to go ahead and put the icing on top of the cake. Go ahead.
Whose are the fathers.
Whose are the fathers.
And of whom as concerning the flesh.
As concerning the flesh, go ahead.
The Mashiach came.
The Mashiach came. So according to the flesh, Yahshua was an Israelite too. So if Yahshua was an Israelite, all the disciples Israelites, all the apostles Israelites, why would I want to be anything else? Read, priest.
Who is over all. Elohim blessed forever. Amen. Not as though the word of Elohim has taken non-effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel.
Wait a minute now. Now we've been reading things about sons who ain't sons. We've been reading about some things here. Now they got the same mom and daddy, but they of a different nation. Wait a minute. He says they are not all Israel which are of Israel. So you can go and you can listen to all these purple shouting fools on the corner if you want to about what tribe you in, but Yahweh makes sure that it's known they are not all Israel which are of Israel. So you can go and get your DNA checked and let them tell you, you in this tribe. Maybe that make you feel good. So you can walk down the street with your tribe name on your chest. What's up, brother? Naphtali. Read, man.
Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Esau shall your seed be called. That is, they which are the children of the flesh. These are not the children of Elohim.
They are not the children of Elohim because they are directed by fleshly things. I feel, I think, I believe. It's all about feelings, mealings, if you will. Go ahead.
But the children of the promise are counted for the seed. For this is the word of promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Esau, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of Elohim according to election might stand.
They ain't done that yet. Go ahead.
Not of works, but of him that calls. It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
Oh my God! Wait a minute now. These two sons, they got same mama, they got same daddy, but one of them have a different spirit. He said one of them I love, the other one I hate. So does it have anything to do with the parents? It's got something to do with the spirit of how that child walks. They got same mom and daddy, but they say I hate one of them. His spirit ain't right. And was Yahweh, does he have to wait until you do something evil so that he can prove to you that your spirit ain't right? Or can he just sit back and say, I know that spirit ain't right? Yahweh didn't wait. They wasn't born. And he said, that spirit ain't right. He didn't wait till Esau did anything. I already know. He not going to be in charge. The younger one going to be in charge. It's a different spirit right there. Now why didn't Yahweh wait? Him waiting is not for him. Him waiting is for us. So that you might know what is in your heart. He already know what's in there. You the one that's confused about what's in your heart. He ain't confused about what's in your heart. He was there when it was made. Go ahead, Prince.
What should we say then? Is there unrighteousness with Elohim?
Here we go.
Elohim forbid. For he says to Moshe, I'll have mercy on whom I will have mercy.
I'm the one, the mercy is mine. Who are you to tell me where I'm going to put it? Go ahead.
And I'll have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then, is it not of him that willeth, nor of him that runs, but of Elohim that shows mercy? For the scripture says unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised you up, that I might show my power in you, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Therefore has he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will, he hardens. You will say then unto me, why does he yet find fault? For who has resisted his will?
Check this out, verse 18. Therefore he has mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will, he hardens. A lot of people think, well, you know, I got this hard living out in the world. No, you got that hard heart because that's what he gave you. That's why your heart that hardened. The world didn't make your heart that way. Yahweh did. Go ahead.
No, but, O man, who are you that replieth against Elohim? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why have you made me thus?
Right. Why you didn't make me with 3 legs? So how you gonna question Mishael? Come over here, Dave. Check that. Thank you, bro. Go ahead.
Has not the potter power over the clay, of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor, and another unto dishonor? What if Elohim, willing to show his anger, and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction, and that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared unto glory. Even us, whom he has called, not of the Yehudis only, but also of the Gentiles. And as he says also in OC, I will call them my people, which were not my people, and her beloved, which was not beloved. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, you are not my people, there shall they be called the children of the living El.
So then you look at the spiritual thing in Yahweh and how he's dealing, where we might look at the physical bloodline of something. Yahweh said, look here, if you walk in the spirit, I will cause you to have the adoption of sons, whether or not you have the bloodline or not. Somebody need to go get a megaphone and tell them corner store Hebrews this situation. Because this is what the whole thing, they are not all Israel, but you're of Israel. So you can walk around with your tribal chart all you want. You can walk around with your 3andMe or whatever that is, you know, and you can do that all you want. Don't mean nothing to Yahweh. What is the spirit in your walk? Go ahead.
That was it, verse 26.
All right, yeah. Now let's go to our Genesis chapter 37. Genesis 37, and we're going to start that at verse 1.
Verse 1. And Jacob dwelt in the land wherein his father was a stranger, in the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brethren, and the lad was with the sons of Bilhah, and with the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives.
See, when people start reading this is where they like to put the situations where, the children of Israel was all the sons of Jacob, but see, it was one man and he had 4 wives, and then he had those children. See, that's why they had so much turmoil. We just read about turmoil. They had same mama and daddy. So people want to put they want to halfway deal with it. That's them people that have a problem with the way this book is constructed, where a man has more than one wife. They have a problem with that. So then they say, see, that's why Israel always had them problems. See, it's because they got more than one wife in there. Now they got one wife in their house and they having pure D hell. So you ought to ask them, so why y'all having hell in there? It ain't but one of y'all in there. I thought one more than one was the problem. Hey, but one of you in here. So one of y'all got so many problems. Right. Maybe y'all need to get more than one in here. Let me leave that alone. Go on, brother, go on.
And Joseph brought unto his father their evil report. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age.
So you mean a man changes as he gets older in having kids? Because it says now he loved Joseph more than all his other children because he was the son of his old age. He's a different man. He has a different mindset when this child comes along. Now here come the problems. Go ahead.
And he made him a coat of many colors.
Go ahead.
And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him.
Here we go.
And could not speak peaceably unto him.
So this ain't got nothing to do with, how many children come from another woman or blah. No. These are all children who come from the other mothers, and they still don't like him, including whatever came from his mama. No, we don't like him. No, we all gathered together in unity against him. We are united in division. Right. Go ahead, brother.
You brought it up earlier, and what was the cause and who were you really mad with? And what are they looking at? It says when they saw that their father loved him more Then all his brethren, they hated him.
Right.
Could not speak peaceably unto
To
him.
him. But what is the cause of the anger?
The father's love for him.
Right. Go ahead.
And Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it his brethren, and they hated him yet the more.
Poor fella. See, that's what happened when you the youngest and the dumbest. You don't know that you are making them hate you even more. Hey, Doug, hey, big brother. Guess what? I just had this wonderful dream.
We're gonna kill him.
He's just young and dumb. He don't know. He just running like, Doug, I had another dream, big brother.
We're definitely gonna kill him.
That's a poor fella. Just shut up. He don't know no better. Bless his heart. Go ahead.
As part of the problem is you also seek an acceptance from the people you're looking up to.
Right. He loves these big brothers. You know, you look up and you be like, one day I'm gonna be strong like him, and one day I might know how to do that thing like him, or one day you gotta think about, man, if you got 11 brothers, man, you know how many areas your brain is going in. I want to do that, I want to do that, I want to do that, because I want to look up to all my brothers, every last one of them. I want to do all of this. So that I can show how much my big brother influenced me, each one of them. So he got a lot going on. But all they see is,
we're gonna kill him.
Read, bro.
And he said unto them, Here, I pray you, this dream which I've dreamt. For behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheaf arose, and also stood upright. And behold, your sheaf stood round about, and made obeisance to my sheaf.
This was the wrong dream right there, brother. It was wrong. You should have told him a dream about a wagon or something. This dream right here is going to get you beat up. Go ahead.
And his brethren said to him, Shall you indeed reign over us? Or shall you indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words.
That poor fella. Go ahead.
And he dreamed yet another dream.
Not another one. Go ahead.
And told it his brethren, and said, Behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me.
All right, if you don't know what obeisance is, that means it bows to him. All right? So you got to understand what's going on to these manly men. They all, what I'm saying, they work in the field. They don't have no pretty little coat. All right? They work in the field. They got muscles. All right? All right, and then here comes this pretty little tent-dwelling little boy with the pretty little coat, to stay around his old daddy, and here he come talking about the sun and the moon bow to him. You know what, bro? I'm getting tired of your bowing down dreams. You understand what I'm saying to you? You're saying your little bowing down dreams is about to make you bow down right now. That's what's about to happen. Keep reading.
And he told it his father and to his brethren.
Poor fella. He just you can see the young dumbness there. You know what I'm saying? He just so he don't even know that they digging a hole for him. You know what I'm saying? He's just happy about what has been shown him, and he want to share it with the world. So he's just going from person to person. He went to the daddy. And that's a strange dream to tell your daddy, in the dream you bow down to me.
Say what?
Go ahead, bro.
And his father rebuked him.
You see that? You see that?
I bow down to you. Buckle it out.
You understand? Go ahead.
And said unto him, What is this dream that you have dreamt?
See, you ate the wrong thing before you went to sleep, boy. I told you, no more wheat snacks before sleep, all right? Don't eat that no more. Your brain is, you having some issues. Go ahead.
Shall I and your mother and your brethren indeed come to bow down ourselves to you to the earth?
You see that they understood certain things. He said the sun and the moon. The father knew that he was the sun, the mama was the moon, and that the brothers were the 11 stars. Who explained that? How did he already know that? How did the brothers already know that the sheaves represented them? Who explained that? Okay. Keep reading.
And his brethren envied him, But his father observed the same.
Okay, so now we're not talking about jealousy. Now they done jumped to another level. All right, keep going.
And his brethren went to feed their father's flock in Shechem. And Israel said unto Joseph, do not your brethren feed the flock in Shechem? Come, and I'll send you on to them. And he said to him, here am I. And he said to him...
Now, first thing you got to understand now, he wasn't with them during the work. He's sending him to them. How old is that he was? Like 17, right? Hey, man, he don't know the work.
Mm-hmm.
What he doing back at the camp? Why they working? So, understand what's happening here. And why the indignation is building. But see, the old man has changed, and he's changing how he's dealing with things. Everybody ain't happy about that. Go ahead.
And he said to him, go, I pray you, see whether it be well with your brethren, and well with the flocks, and bring me word again. So he sent him out of the vale of Hebron, and he came to Shechem.
Now, okay. Let's just go ahead and call this what it is. He sent his little son to go give him word about the other son. So he sent him on a snitch mission.
Mm-hmm.
You do understand they're gonna pick that up, right? Because I mean, you don't be working with her. So you came out here to see what we were doing? Go ahead.
You know, even when it says, we got to understand even, so he sent him out of the vale of Hebron. That's his protection.
Exactly.
That means everybody around there know him.
Exactly. He sent them out without protection to go to some brothers who you gonna need protection from. Go ahead.
And a certain man found him, and behold, he was wandering in the field. And the man asked him, saying, what seeketh you?
Now, he don't even really know how to deal in the field. He just walking around the man like he just wandering forward. But where you get this little boy from? I just look at him. He don't know how the field work. You done already looked there. They obviously not there. You just went there. Why are you going there? It's like, you know, how brothers want to do. We don't want to ask for no direction. We just keep going. We just wander. This little poor little fella, he just wandering. He just look at him. He just walking around. He just gonna keep going to the same spot, round and round in circles. He said, "Look, man, I'm show you where your brothers went. Go ahead."
And he said, I seek my brethren. Tell me, I pray you, where they feed their flocks. And the man said, they are departed hence, for I heard them say, let us go to Dothan. And Joseph went after his brethren and found them in Dothan.
So now he even farther than where he's supposed to be. Go ahead.
And when they saw him afar off, even before he came near unto them, they conspired against him to slay him. And they said one to another, behold, this dreamer comes. Come now, therefore, and let us slay him and cast him into some pit.
All right, baby, man, I tell you that. Now this is anti-brotherly love right here. This is brotherly love at its worst. This is brotherly hate. They are gathering together to see what they can do to him. Go ahead.
And we will say, some evil beast has devoured him, and we shall see what will become of his dreams. And Reuben heard it, and he delivered him out of their hands and said, let us not kill him. And Reuben said unto them, shed no blood, but cast him into this pit that is in the wilderness, and lay no hand upon him, that he might rid him out of their hands, to deliver him to his father again.
Right, but even in his delivering, he doesn't want to deliver him straight up. He's still trying to do it in slickness, rather than just, no, y'all ain't doing this. You know, this is when you jump in and out of being the oldest. You understand? This is when you jump in and out of it. No, but you not directly. Either you gonna stand or you ain't. How you gonna stand and then not stand and then stand and then not stand? That's why they don't respect your stance. Because you can't stand and keep standing in the same place. They don't respect your stand. So now he got to try to trick them to get them not. Why don't you just stand up like the leader of the brethren and say, no, this ain't what we finna do to our little brother. Go ahead.
And it came to pass, when Yosef was come unto his brethren, that they stripped Yosef out of his coat of many colors that was on him.
Because this was a point of problem, that he had this coat. Go ahead.
And they took him and cast him into a pit, and the pit was empty, there was no water in it.
Imagine the surprise of this little boy. He has no idea that the hatred was that strong against him. If he had known that, you think he would have let the daddy send him out in the woods? No, Dad, I'm not going over there. No, your son's planning to kill me. Go ahead.
And they sat down to eat bread, and they lifted up their eyes and looked, and behold, a company of Ishmaelites came from Gilead.
Wait a minute. Ishmaelites? Mm-hmm. Right. Other sons of Abraham. Go ahead.
With their camels bearing spicery and balm and myrrh, going to carry down to Egypt. And Yehudah said unto his brethren, what profit is it if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? Mm-hmm. Come, and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites. Let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother and our flesh. And his brethren were content.
So this is the compromise that has been made. All right? So you got Ishmael who was sent off, and now you have this time that this brother is sent off with some Ishmaelites. Go ahead.
Then there passed by Midianites.
Oh, come on now, for real. Right. This is all the family of Abraham dealing. Go ahead.
Then there passed by Midianites merchantmen, and they drew and lifted up Yosef out of the pit, and sold Yosef to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver, and they brought Yosef into Egypt.
Now they brought him into Egypt, and understand, in the beginning, Abraham married Hagar, the Egyptian, and here go the Israelite back in Egypt land. Go ahead.
And Reuben returned onto the pit, and behold, Yosef was not in the pit, and he rent his clothes. And he returned unto his brethren and said, the child is not, and I, whither shall I go? And they took Yosef's coat and killed a kid of the goats and dipped the coat in the blood. And they sent the coat of many colors, and they brought it to their father and said, this have we found. Know now whether it be your son's coat or no. And he knew it and said, it is my son's coat. An evil beast has devoured him. Yosef is without doubt rent in pieces. And Yaakov rent his clothes and put sackcloth upon his loins and mourned for his son many days.
Now, you got to understand what they did to the father. You understand at this point he believes that this is his fault, right? Mm-hmm. You understand that he is now punishing himself, right? That he now believes that because he sent this young boy out to go find his brethren by himself, that now an evil beast got him and devoured him, not knowing that he's looking at the evil beast that devoured him. He's about to feed the evil beast that devoured his son. So he has two things going on. He has the problem of missing his child, and then the guilt that he believes it's his fault. And they watch him torment himself for years. Go ahead.
And all his sons and all his daughters rose up to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted.
He refused to be comforted. Go ahead.
And he said, I'll go down into the grave unto my son mourning. Thus his father wept for him. And the Midianites sold him into Egypt unto Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh's and captain of the guard.
Right. They sold him as a young boy. He then grew to be a man. And within this situation, every last one of those dreams that he said ended up coming to pass. While they thought they was going to do something as manly men to prevent the dreams, they actually made the dreams come to pass. That's how Yahweh trick you. Just when you think you making something stop, you, my friend, are the very catalyst that made it happen. Boy, you gotta love Yahweh. Let's go to Genesis chapter 13. His dreams were not even possible without their hatred. Check that out. But they think they stopping him. Come on. Here come this dreamer. And we're going to see what's going to happen with his dreams. Congratulations. You just made the dreams come true. You just don't know it yet. Genesis chapter 13. And we're going to read, start that at verse 1.
And Abram went up out of Egypt, he and his wife, and all that he had, and Lot with him, into the south. And Abram was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold. And he went on his journeys from the south even to Bethel, on to the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Ai, on to the place of the altar, which he had made there at the first. And there Abram called on the name of Yahweh. And Lot also, which went with Abram, had flocks and herds and tents.
So you have to understand the story that when Abram's father took on Lot, his brother's child, so Lot is being raised with Abram. So as the situation comes, when the movement comes, Abram then brings Lot with him. Yahweh is wanting to make a covenant with Abram, not with Lot. Lot is family, but Yahweh is not trying to make a covenant with Lot. So he has to cause some things. Go ahead.
And the land was not able to bear them, that they might dwell together.
So, in the beginning, we saw the situation with Sarah saying that this bondwoman and her child shall not be here. So if you just saw that situation, you saw the separation. You didn't see the spirit behind the separation. You saw the situation behind the separation. Now, here is the situation behind the separation. But there's a spiritual part of that situation. This is the physical part. They have herdmen and they are going against one another for the land. This is what Yahweh causes to separate these two men. But what happens if a man just understands what's going on and he makes the separation of his own? Go ahead, read.
For their substance was great, so that they could not dwell together. And there was a strife between the herdmen of Abram's cattle and the herdmen of Lot's cattle. And the Canaanite and the Perizzite dwelt in the land.
And I tell people this all the time. This is the most beautiful way to be separated ever. That you have so much money that y'all can't stay in the same place. I have never yet seen anybody have that situation. I would hope that this is how he would drive me and my family away from each other. Just give me so much money that they just got to leave. Please. But that's just not how he deal with me. See, you got to know how Yahweh deal with you. That just ain't how he deal with me. You know? He just ain't going to give me so much money they be like, look, we can't even. Sock stuff is everywhere. We just can't even be here no more. Let's just separate. Let's just get us another house and Sock can get another house and just be Sock's house. That's not how he deals with me. It's just not my lot. I can dream. But it's not going to happen. Go ahead, bro.
And Abram said unto Lot, let there be no strife, I pray you, between me and you, and between your herdmen and between my herdmen and your herdmen, for we be brethren.
Right, we brothers. They raised as brothers. Regardless as to one may be a cousin or uncle. Look here, we brothers. Let us not have an issue. Go ahead.
Is not the whole land before you? Separate yourself, I pray you, from me. If you will take the left hand, then I'll go to the right. Or if you depart to the right hand, then I'll go to the left.
Now, Yahweh is making a covenant with Abram. Yet Abram gives the ability to decide to Lot. Check that out. And this is what we do. We'll pass out our blessing to somebody else. The whole journey is about Yahweh dealing with Abram. Yet he gives his brother the opportunity to choose. But Yahweh is so magnificent in power. He makes it. Whatever side you choose, gonna be the good side. So whatever one, let him choose, son. It don't matter. Whichever one you get, gonna be the good one. Go ahead.
And Lot lifted up his eyes and beheld all the plain of Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere, before Yahweh destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, even as the garden of Yahweh, like the land of Egypt, as you cometh unto Zoar. Then Lot chose him all the plain of Jordan, and Lot journeyed east, and they separated themselves the one from the other.
Right. So Lot saw the best thing, and he took the best for himself. There's something to be said in that, but we ain't gonna worry about it. Now, after that has happened, go ahead.
Abram dwelt in the land of Canaan, and Lot dwelt in the cities of the plain, and pitched his tent toward Sodom. But the men of Sodom were wicked and sinners before Yahweh exceedingly.
So now he has moved into a wicked land. It looked good, but it was wicked. Now, after that has been secured, now you find Yahweh moving. Go ahead.
And Yahweh said unto Abram, after that Lot was separated from him,
this is what Yahweh was waiting for. He was not going to get this next level of the covenant as long as his brother was there. See, there's some separation that has to happen. If not, there is a level of growth that ain't gonna happen. Go ahead.
Lift up now your eyes and look from the place where you are northward and southward and eastward and westward. For all the land which you see it, to you will I give it.
To you, not to your cousin, to your uncle, to your auntie, to your brother. No, to you. And I guarantee you, and Yahweh know that, if Lot was still there, Yahweh would have had a conversation with Abram, and Abram would have went right to Lot. You see what Yahweh gave us? No, he didn't give this to us. That's not how that went. Go ahead.
And to your seed forever. And I'll make your seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man can number the dust of the earth, then shall your seed also be numbered. Arise, walk through the land in the length of it and in the breadth of it, for I will give it unto you. Then Abram removed his tent and came and dwelt in the plain of Mamre, which is in Hebron, and built there an altar unto Yahweh.
Right. So then in that situation, you're probably looking at the most positive separation known to man. Please don't expect that in your life. That's how he gonna cause you to separate from something that's keeping you from going on another level of the covenant with him. It ain't gonna be that smooth. Read this one, like it, love it. Don't expect it. Don't expect it. That please don't. If this the one you waiting for, I'm telling you, there's 1 in 10 million here. All right, this is not how. We just read all the situations of separation. No other situation did they hit some kind of, Jerusalem lotto, and then they had so much money that they had to separate. Never, ever, ever. Okay? So 9 times out of 10, Yahweh gonna cause that separation some other way. Not this way. Okay? This is the most awesome way of separation I have ever heard of. But let us hear the conclusion of this matter. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 27. Proverbs chapter 27, and we're going to read verses 1 through 12.
Boast not yourselves of tomorrow, for you know not what a day may bring forth. Let another man praise you, and not your own mouth, a stranger and not your own lips. A stone is heavy, and the sand weighty, but a fool's anger is heavier than them both. Wrath is cruel, and anger is outrageous, but who is able to stand before envy? Open rebuke is better than secret love.
Open rebuke is better than secret love. With open rebuke, a brother has an opportunity to fix whatever problem he has caused. Go ahead.
Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful.
The wounds of a friend is the open rebuke that was mentioned in the line before. That's what the wounds of a friend are. Open rebuke. Go ahead.
The full soul loatheth an honeycomb, but to the hungry soul every bitter thing is sweet. As a bird that wanders from her nest, so is a man that wanders from his place. Ointment and perfume rejoice the heart. So does the sweetness of a man's friend by hearty counsel.
The problem is, can we receive that counsel? See, we read, I think it was last Sabbath, about the brother who went and sought counsel, one from the old man and the other with the people that he grew up with. Are you able to receive hearty counsel? Go ahead.
Your own friends and your father's friends forsake not. Neither go into your brother's house in the day of your calamity. For better is a neighbor that is near than a brother far off. My son, be wise, and make my heart glad, that I may answer him that reproaches me. A prudent man foresees the evil and hides himself, but the simple pass on and are punished.
Right. And if you look at all of these situations where the father is dealing with the situation of the sons, he notices the situation. And if that separation does not come, then you see the death that comes when there's not an action. It says a prudent man foresees the evil and hides himself. That means he does not walk simply straight ahead. He sees that there is a problem that's going to come of this situation, and he removes himself or he removes his family from that situation. But the situation has not happened yet. That's what the whole thing is about. Do you have to wait until there's carnage and then do something? Or are you able to look down the road and say, I can see that something is going to come from this. Let me cause a separation. That's all that we're going to do for today. Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.